All right, here's a quick tutorial for Quizizz. This is a quiz game generator that you can put your own content in. You can use it to actually give assessments, to give formative or summative assessments, or you can just use it like I do. I use it to have the kids study their vocabulary words or study for tests. You can create your own, which I'm going to show you in a minute, or you can use other assessments that other people have created. It knows I teach history, so it gives me some of these, right off the bat, because that's the tag that I usually put on my quizzes, because that's the class that I teach. So I could go through any of these and go, all right, I'm teaching geography right now, so let's see if this is something I'd want to use. All right, a lot of the stuff is like, wow, I could probably just use this quiz if I go through this. This is a lot of the stuff that I'm actually teaching right now. So that right off the bat, super helpful. So I could assign this. I am not going to assign this right now. I'm going to show you how to assign a different quiz that I've already made, but totally usable. Great thing about this is it's not just history. It's got all sorts of different subjects that you can search through. It's got fun quizzes. Just search like any other search engine and look for stuff if you need it. Good for last minute, or good if you just have a ton of workload going on. You're like, I just need a practice quiz. Good way to find one already made. Let's go to my library. My library is where all your stuff is, all your quizzes are. You can organize these into different collections. They all sit here, so you can see all of them here. You can filter it however you want. Search for the quiz that you're looking for in your quizzes. It does integrate with Google Classroom, so it will see those classes and it'll add those classes to your Quizizz account, which is great because it makes things really easy to assign. I'm going to show you reports in a minute, but let's get to creating a quiz. A couple of things you can do here. You can create a quiz and a lesson. I haven't used lessons yet. That's fairly new. I haven't used them, so I'm not going to show you how to do that. Quizzes are pretty straightforward, like any other type of creation tool. Is give it a name. Here they want you to pick the subject or subjects this would be good for. So I am in my geography unit and it's social studies, so I might click both of those. You have to click one, but you can click as many as you want. You can add an image. You can either drag and drop an image from your computer, or you can paste URL in there. You can select whatever language you want the quiz to be in. Select the grades. I usually do a range 6th through 9th. This is all stuff for when it tags your quiz, so when people search for it, they can find it. If we're finding their search for certain grade levels or certain subjects. I can make it public or I can make it private. I usually keep it public, but you can do either. Hit save. And then you can add all sorts of questions. I have not used the slides yet, so I'm not going to go over that. And I'm really going to go over multiple choice questions because the rest of the questions look very similar. So I'm just going to go over, just for speed, how to create a multiple choice question. But the rest of the questions all look pretty similar. So I'm going to go over just how to do a multiple choice question. So first, type in your question. And I can change the color of the text. I can, use all these different tools. I can make it a math equation. I can add media or audio or video. So if I want, if I want it read, or if I want a little video to go with the question, I can do that as well. Type in your answers. Select the correct answer. I can add more options or take some away, right? At least I have to have 2, so I can make it a true or false if I want, or I can, I can add more choices. I can add a fun fact or an explanation to this if I upgrade. So I'm obviously not going to do that, but if you wanted to upgrade, you could do that and add media to that. And then before you save, you can change, you can make it super fast. And again, the kids are going to be playing a game with this. So they'll be competing against themselves and other people. So they can play at different times, and it keeps a running total of who's got high score. and then all the other scores, and you can see yourself moving up. It's fun to do it actually in class with the kids because you can hear them going, yeah, I got up to number 3. Oh, I'm up to number 5. Oh, I made it up to number 1. So they don't all have to be on at the same time. So it's not like Kahoot. I do think Kahoot has this option as well, but it's not like I just put it up in class and everybody's playing at the same time. And the game ends and starts all at the same time for everybody. They can play over and over and over at their own pace and at their own time. And I can give them however many, seconds up to 15 minutes per question. 15 minutes is a lot per question, but I guess if you're given a test and it's a math question, well, they might need more time. You hit save, and that's it. You can add all sorts of other questions, check boxes. That just means more than one answer could be correct. We have fill in the blank, which is fill in the blank. I haven't used fill in the blank. Like I said, I generally just use this for vocabulary and test prep stuff. You have polls, you have open-ended questions, and you can add slides. I have not used adding the slides yet. You can either just exit and it'll save it as a draft, or you can be done and hit done. When you're here, you can start a live quiz game, and I'm just going to do that for you now. The starting a live quiz game and the homework look pretty much the same, but there's a little bit of difference in assigning homework, and I'll show you that in a second. So I can do the classic mode, and that is just like I talked about before, where you start the game and it's open for a certain amount of time that you want it to be open, and the kids can, repeat the quiz as many times as they want to, or you can make it instructor based. I'm just going to go with the classic. You can have them do this as teams. You can have the classic where it's individual, or you can have this be a test. You can select the classes you want to assign this to. It will put an assignment on your Google Classroom. It doesn't put it in a topic. It does not give you that choice. So you'll have to go back and edit that and put it into a topic if you use topics. And also it defaults to making all of these assignments 100 points. So if you don't want it to be worth 100 points, then you'll need to go into your Google Classroom, edit the assignment, and then switch that as well. So I'm not going to assign it because I don't want it to be assigned to my kids because it's not a quiz they're going to take, but I would hit next and it would walk you through your steps. I have the general settings, how many times can they take this? If it was a test, you want to take it once, you could. I usually leave it on unlimited. I assign it on a Monday and it's due on a Friday, and then they have their quiz Friday. So they can study whenever they want to. You can have showing the answers. I'm not going to read through all of this stuff because you guys can read that on your own. What I do, want to do, I'll hit continue here and just show you one way you can assign this is by giving this web link out to the kids, or, telling them to go to joinmyquiz.com and then using the join code. I do that when I'm in class, but if I'm assigning it for homework, I don't use that way to assign the test, but that would be how you do it in class. You just, pop that, share that URL and then give the join code. What I do is I assign it as homework. Everything is pretty much exactly the same as what I just showed you, except for this. I can give this now a deadline. So what I generally do is I give it the day of the test and I make it due by 8 a.m. because that's, well, not 8 p.m., 8 a.m. because that's when we start school. So the test isn't open, or this practice test isn't open during the real test. And again, same thing, assign it to your classes and all the same general settings. But I'm not going to assign this because my kids aren't working on it right now. One great thing that this does give you is reports. It'll tell you what games are running. It will tell you what games are completed. I have a couple that are running here. This one's completed. I'm going to show you what type of data that you get back. So when this is running live, you can see these live. You can see what they're doing. You can see the rankings of everybody. And it gives you some really good feedback on this. It tells me that she got 100%. She took this 4 times. If I click on this, I can see each attempt that she did and where she got the incorrect answer. Right, I can see all 4 attempts. And sometimes the kids take it over and over, and I suggest that they keep doing it because they're practicing it, right? Even if they get 100%, this scores you and ranks you on how accurate you were and how fast you were. So even if you got 100%, you could still be down at the bottom because everybody was faster than you. So then they take it multiple times and then they get better as they go along. You can email a parent from here. So if you click on that, you just put in the parent email and you can say, hey, she did a great job. This is awesome. Or, hey, Johnny needs to work on questions 2 and 5, or whatever you want to say in your email. I can email all the parents. I can look at this broken down by question. So I can see, all right, which questions do we really need to work on? I can go overview of all the questions and use that breakdown. All right, we're all pretty good on these. Only 75% got this question number 9. So maybe I'm going to go back over number 9 on that. And that is your quick walk around of Quizizz. It's really, once you get into it, pretty easy to use. So I really use Quizizz for practice quizzes, and I just have the kids practice over and over and over and over and over again. I think it's really good to get those vocabulary words into their memory. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed it.